Hi, I'm Dave W.
And I'm Ego Sensation.
And we are
White Hills.
And you are watching
Flea TV.
Hi, I'm Sammy Soul and you're watching Flea TV. And I'm sitting here with Dave W. and Ego Sensation from White Hills. How you doing, guys?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. First question would be about touring. Because you were here already exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're touring a lot. Is that how you identify yourself as a touring band?
Yeah, well, we release an album a year.
Yeah.
And I think in order to, really benefit, like putting an album out, you need to be on the road.
Yeah.
So, we're kind of in this rotation, shall we say.
Yeah.
Basically timetable that puts us back at places within a year from when we were there last.
Yeah, we just really like touring too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back to the beginning. And what was your first record you got?
The first record I bought, or just the first record I acquired?
Yeah.
Okay. It was Jefferson Airplane's Bark.
All right.
Yeah, that was my parents. I liked it. I took it.
Yeah. What about you?
It was my sister gave me a collection from the fall, the singles.
Okay. Yeah. That brings to the next question. Was that those records? Was it the reason why you hold on into an instrument and started to learn that? Or
yeah, for me, definitely. I was really intrigued by it, and just kind of started my fascination with records and music and guitar. Especially the guitar, definitely.
Not for me, but that was definitely what introduced me to insane music. Listening to the fall, I'd
distorted,
heard, on the radio, pop music, and to hear this, it was this other world of music that I was really intrigued by.
Yeah. What about what would make you inspired by playing psychedelic rock? You obviously maybe the first record, yeah.
But I think even more so, it was like really my fascination with the late 70s punk movement and like the post-punk movement that came out of it, because in some ways I think that the music from that era is even more psychedelic than music, let's say, from the 60s, because you had way more experimentation going on across the board, versus in the 60s it was really more blues-based rock. My fascination with out music really comes from a few years later.
Psychedelic music, really, I think from playing with Dave, starting to play with Dave, and just experimenting with playing music that doesn't have, it's not in a box, not, a real structured sort of song, just sort of going freely with, interpreting ideas.
All right, cool. You also said it earlier about the making one album a year, but you actually have 13 albums out in 9 years. So.
Oh God! Well, I guess if you count like these tour-only releases that we do,
it's like that,
or the 45s. I mean, basically, what is it? 7 albums, 7 proper albums.
Could be.
So I think it's 7 albums within almost an 8-year period. Yeah. But then, there's always like little things sprinkled here and there. But that stuff, and EPs. And, sometimes those things are, only 25 copies,
Well, where do you get your inspiration from?
Living.
Life
in
general?
Traveling.
Seeing
art, seeing other performers, just...
think just kind of like taking in as much as you can. You know, recently did an interview in which someone said, you know, what is art to you?
Yeah, yeah.
And my answer was, well, everything and anything is art. You know, all you need to do is just step outside and open up your eyes to something that you didn't see before.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and not look at it as a building. Look at it in a different way.
Refrigerator.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, art is all around you, and there's all kinds of things that I think you can draw inspiration from.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That brings to the next question nicely. How did you come up with the collaboration with Jim Chalmers?
Oh, well, that's it's something for Jim to answer.
No, okay.
You know,
Yeah,
I
but
mean, he's a fan.
Okay,
He's a
yeah,
fan
yeah.
of ours, and you know, he asked us to do an ATP that he curated in New York. What was that? 2009.
2010.
10. Yeah, and then so from that, you know, we found out that he was a fan of ours, and then you know, just out of the blue, he asked us if we would want to be in the movie.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, his films includes basically only legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Well,
great
well.
because we're fans of his as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
So it was
Yeah.
really
exactly.
nice to be able to work with him.
No, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how is the psychedelic rock scene in America? Here in Europe, I think it's been growing last couple of years a lot.
Yeah.
Well, there's some great things going on, like the Austin Psych Fest
Oh, yeah,
that they do
yeah.
in Austin.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for 5 or 6 years
Yeah, I think
now.
it's on 5 years at least.
There's always a lot of great music going on there, and a lot of American bands playing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think that there's just over the last few years, there's just been a rebirth of guitar music, really.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like with that, you know, kind of will lead people into this realm of people calling music psychedelic, and it's
Oh, yeah.
great, you know, because when was there really like a last like, you know, big rock movement, you know, and ultimately
90s.
like. Yeah, exactly.
That's
you know,
almost
I guess
20
you could
that's
say
20 years ago.
you could say like the grunge movement.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so I think it's just good to see like guitar music coming
Coming
back
up,
and
yeah,
people wanting to play guitar and you know wanting to be guitar-based drums and maybe throw in some synthesizer for like some other weirdness and try to make it different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How does the future look like for White Hills?
Bright.
So bright, gotta wear shades.
Yeah.
Oh, would have been a great
no.
point, but didn't bring my shades.
No, yeah, you know, things are looking good. You know, we're touring through the end of October.
Yeah.
Then we have a little bit of time off in November. Then there's some talk of some things around the movie, around the new
Yeah.
year. You know, and then we'll start focusing in on doing a new record and see where that takes us. Yeah.
Cool. What about actually, I want to ask you about you comfortable doing records? Isn't it like some bands they like to be on a tour and some bands they like to be in a studio? Which one do you prefer, or do you prefer the both?
Well, I
I
think
think there's things we enjoy about both. I mean, we don't take a ton of time with recording. We write new music and we record it pretty quickly after we've written
Yeah.
it. We don't painstakingly spend months in the studio recording and obsessing. So I think there's something really enjoyable about doing the recording, but it goes by fairly quickly.
yeah, it's a bit more for me because you know I'll end up doing all the mixing and
Okay, yeah.
and producing and stuff. You know, so there are things I love about it. There are things I find frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, same thing about being on the road.
Yeah, of
Things
course.
that I love
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it,
yeah,
things
yeah.
that are frustrating.
course.
You know, they're two very different things, but they're both you know things that I think ultimately we enjoy doing. And if we didn't enjoy doing it, I don't think either of us would be here right now.
No.
Yeah.
It's the joy of art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Is there any person you would like to collaborate now that you guys are in the film or band or
Oh,
somebody?
God,
Many.
tons. Yeah.
I don't know if you have enough tape.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like, you know, there's always people that you hear something and you're all like, oh, I'd really like to maybe work with that person.
Yeah.
You know, There's a producer out of Wales, David Wrench, who is an amazing producer and like an amazing songwriter. Would love to work with him at some point in time. You know, we just were on the road in the U.S. with the Cult.
No. Oh yeah. Actually, I saw that.
Yeah, and you know, Ian Asbury's a huge fan of psychedelic music.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
I think
Carl was pretty psychedelic back in the days.
exactly. And I think it would be interesting to do something with him.
Oh yeah.
You know,
he's one of my heroes as well.
Yeah, you
Love the
know,
Carl.
so. You know, I think we've been extremely fortunate where we've been able to kind of meet a lot of people, and you know, who knows what will pop up in the future.
Yeah.
It would be great to collaborate with Wayne Coyne.
Yes, Wayne Coyne of the Flaming Lips.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one. Yep, definitely.
It'd be great to collaborate with Nick Cave.
Well, yes, that would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds pretty neat combination.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks for
And
having
I'll
us.
have you listen the rest of the tour.
Great, thank you.
Cool, thanks.
All right.
Scene.
Yes.
Take. Cut.
Yeah. What brings you to see White Hills here in Loppen?
Shall I start? Go ahead. Yeah, for me, White Hills, the first time that I actually heard this band was what White Hills did a record together with another artist called Knot, and actually one track called Dropout was the first track that really drew my attention. This drone thing, I really like that, and this whole psychedelic vibe of it, and being has this very kind of shoegaze, noisy stuff, but still with a kind of a groove in the bass, and yeah, I like that.
A little bit aggressive.
Yeah, definitely, aggressive, but still also dreamy. Not dreamy, but you know, these contrasts is something that I really like about it.
What about you?
I'm actually here for for the drones in it, for the drones in the music, and just let me dream away and slide away. And the noise as well.
Thanks, beautiful noise.
Beautiful noise, exactly. Thanks a lot. Thank you. So about that. Cool.
Blim 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 TV.
Wow.